All right. Speaking of threats to democracy, back on our daily celebration or our annual celebration of January 6th, the Insurrection Day, I have a very special guest here today. His name is Brace Belden of the TrueAnon podcast. He's here to shill. He's here to shill, baby, shill for a product that he can't even necessarily sell you because, hold on one second, I'm going to turn off my camera and turn it on in the chat, or turn it on in the Discord, Brace. I can see you loud and clear. 1 second. Wait, can you speak? Brace, can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. Hold on.
A few moments later.
Hasan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me, Brace?
I can't hear you. 1 second.
You can't hear me. Why are you saying you can't hear me when you should be able to?
Wait, why can't I hear you?
It's weird.
God, I fucking hate Discord.
I can't see you either.
Devices. No.
I can't see you anymore.
You can hear me, you can't see me.
Yep.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I mean, I can hear you. I assume you can't hear me.
Now I can hear you. There we go.
There it is. Okay.
There we go. I had to plug it in too. You can see me as well?
I can see you. I can hear you. We're ready. We're ready to learn about what you have to sell us today. Listen, January 6th is a bit of a holiday around these parts. Okay, it's the day that we attempted to take over the Capitol, and we almost saved democracy. We almost saved democracy. You know, us and the bold patriots. You know, this is a day where we mourn the loss of Ashley Babbitt, America's greatest hero. And from what I understand, you're a right-wing podcaster. I'm a right-wing Twitch streamer. Mm-hmm. I heard that you, as a right-wing podcast, TrueAnon, created a board game to also celebrate January 6th.
This is insanely true, Hasan, and thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah. First of all, I do want to start this out by saying that RIP to all who perished during January 6th, 2021.
Except for the cops.
RIP to them too. RIP to them too.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I'll say this. Since January 6th happened, I've come to realize that there's no wing flies alone. America needs both the right wing and the left wing. And not only does America need them, but I, as an independent small businessman who is also happens to be Jewish, I need both of those people. Despite my own personal politics being a mix of extreme right wing and extreme left wing, I need both of the moderate right and left wing people, as in people who have jobs, to purchase my product, which is a board game based on the events.
Well, we know leftists don't have jobs. Am I right, brother? Those comments.
That is true.
They're always at the government handout line, except for, you know, when I'm there getting my clearing my disability checks as well. But, you know, I hate big government.
They work at the Poly factory making new boyfriends.
Yeah.
I have in front of me right now. Right, what are you drinking?
This is a groundwork organic cold brew.
Yeah.
I like to get into the mindset of the liberal. This is a liberal drink, as liberal as it gets.
That is, yes, that is true. Can you drink liquor on stream? Is that like legal within Twitch?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't, but you could.
I know, but it would be sick. It would, theoretically, it's very funny to me to imagine a Twitch streamer who, after years of doing it, is clearly just drinking more and more heavily on stream until they become totally incoherent.
Yeah, I mean, you're describing like a lot of older Twitch streamers in general, I think, probably.
This is the prototype. Well, it's not really a prototype. The prototype was much cruder looking. This is the factory prototype version of the Storm the Capitol board game. Now,
oh, brother,
I have received some feedback from some. Whoa, I love that.
Daniel Defense Mark 18, brother. Keep going.
Oh, nice one there.
This
This
is
is the
my emotional support gun. I got real riled up when you showed me the board game. I needed
this
to hold
board
on to
game-
something.
First of all, this cocksucker weighs 6 fucking pounds, which is
Hell yeah.
so much for a board game. It comes with, oh shit, I don't want to break it. 6 goddamn panels featuring the United States Capitol. 3 wings of it. I don't know if you can hear me because I'm using kind of a funky mic, but I'm yelling.
No, I can hear you. You got, so this basically the blueprints, right?
This is
you got
the blueprints.
Hell yeah.
This is the blueprints. There is not only the blueprints, but there is also, and this is for one of the players, a hostage map, which features a smaller part of the Capitol because there are hostages hidden throughout the board that you, as a patriot, must go and get because they're worth points. It also comes with a pencil to mark on the hostage map. So, Hasan, I don't know how many games you're used to playing here, but can you make out the squares on this fucking board?
I mean, not really. What do you?
Okay, I'll
You
put
gotta
it
come
really,
closer.
really close to the camera.
Okay. Oh, there's stuff in there. There's stuff in the
There's
squares.
stuff. Oh my god!
Oh, they
there's
look
so
like
much
tiles. They look like marble.
Precisely correct. They
Wow.
are marble tiles. So basically, you got all 3 wings of the fucking Capitol here, and your players start outside of the Capitol through a broken window. Getting in there, you roll dice for movement, and there's 2 different phases. You have movement and combat phases, and the goal of the game is to overturn desks, which on one side either have ballots, which are worth points,
Hell
or they have hostages, which are also worth points, or they have nothing, which is worth no points. And the goal is to get 100 ballots, and once you get 100 ballots, you got to go to the fucking roof, and then you get picked up by Trump in the helicopter, and you change the results of the election. Or you play as the police, and the point is to kill the protesters.
That makes me so angry. Oh, that is what the cops do. Unless they're also patriots that are, coming to the Capitol.
Yeah, I feel like people didn't really get people have mixed opinions on the Capitol Police, I feel like, after January 6th, because it's like, people were like, oh, they just let them in, but it's like, dude, if I was them, I'd let their asses in too. See what happens.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they were more like, let's let him in, see what happens, or more because Nancy Pelosi refused to call the National Guard.
So Nancy Pelosi stand down order?
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi stand down order, exactly. It's all that's a really funny take, dude, because it's like I feel like half of the cops were there already, okay, protesting. Yeah. And then the other thing is like, yeah, cops don't like getting into trouble or hurting themselves, is very famously. Yeah. And if they're being overwhelmed, they're going to be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to, fuck this. I'm not doing this. I'm not dealing with this. And
well, it's just, you're also like a Capitol Police officer. So like you're kind of one job, like your whole remit is like a building. And so like, it's like if you were like, I don't know, like an NYPD officer and a bunch of people like invaded New York. You're like, well, you kind of gotta, that's kind of your time to shine right there.
Well, for them, they're only used to beating up like disabled Code Pink protesters, like, you know what I mean? And like zip tying them and stuff. So all of a sudden, when they have like a bunch of drunk HVAC business owners coming in, hopped up on God knows what, they were using caps a lot.
I mean, I will say, like, it probably does rule to like, politics aside, to be able to do like Old Boy on a bunch of like Code Pink people in the fucking like in the halls of the Capitol once a week. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, because you see all like, there's like 200 people running towards me. I'm not gonna like try to stop them. I'm gonna be like, just go in, just don't hang Mike Pence. But I do think, I will say this, the board game takes no political position on either side. It is pro January 6th in the fact that like, I'm glad January 6th happened, because I thought it was fun.
Hell yeah, brother, me too.
It doesn't take a side whether it was good or bad politically. It is what happened. And and you can recreate it. But I think the absolute best thing that could have happened at January 6th is if they had hanged Mike Pence. And I say that because I think that a lot of Republicans would have been happy that it had happened. I think a lot of liberals, if we're being honest, would have been happy that it happened. And it would have been a really good piece of news for like a year or two.
Oof.
Like it would have really like had a lot of legs on it.
And Mike Pence would like be kind of regarded as a hero instead of like the loser who ran again this time around, only to like quit first before anybody else.
Yeah. Like it's genuinely, and I say this with not an ounce of irony, hanging Mike Pence would have been honestly the best possible thing to happen to everybody involved.
And including Mike Pence, yeah.
Including Mike Pence, yeah. It would have completely secured his legacy. Now, there's no like Mike Pence fans out there. Obviously, he dropped out first. But like it would have secured him. He would have been, his name will be almost completely forgotten in like 10 years. But I like, if he had been hanged, there were, first of all,
hero.
Hero.
Liberals would unironically regard him as a hero. I mean, they tried to do it. They tried to do it this time. They did the whole like book tour when he had his book, when he was like, I did the right thing in the right moment, you know?
Yeah.
I consulted Mother and I was like, I'm going to save democracy. And it's like they tried to do that to his image already, but it didn't work because like he didn't die. You didn't get hanged.
He didn't die.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is the lack of follow through on Trump's entire team, whether they were for Trump or against him, whether they were undercutting him or whether they were actually one of his true supporters, is pathetic. Because if Pence really wanted to just cement the legacy of those 4 years, he would have gladly offered himself to the crowd. Now he talked about, he was like, oh, I thought the Secret Service agents were gonna like assassinate me in the limo. This isn't a fucking Tom Clancy movie. You would have been hanged in like a parking garage by like six guys, slowly strangled to death, because that's usually the hanging. You know, they don't really. You need the gallows for the whole snapping the neck thing. And so storm the Capitol lets you. The board game lets you take the shoes of somebody who could have hanged Mike Pence. And while we did unfortunately have to take, at the advice of lawyers, you are no longer allowed to actually hang Mike Pence within the game.
Wait, you had it originally?
Yeah. There's several things that I guess it's like legally inadvisable to sell for a profit.
Okay.
And one of those is hanging Mike
Luckily,
Pence.
you can still steal AOC shoes, right? And
you
smell
can.
it.
You can't. Yeah, there's also
like that's an important component for a lot of the Patriots that were there.
There is the game is sort of all the pieces are a little mixed up right now. But you can get Pelosi's laptop. You can steal AOC's shoes. I believe the famous lectern, of course, and a painting. And those are all worth points as well. I will say this. The game is genuinely, January 6th trappings aside, the game is genuinely very fun to play. And I'm not really a board game guy. This is, in fact, one of the few board games that I have played within the last decade. And I have played it a million fucking times. It has been very fun. I'm not sick of it yet. And I came up with a lot of the rules. Our whole thing is like our marketing strategy here is we're trying to sell this to everybody. So I'm trying to get my goal today. In fact, what I was doing just before I came on here, so I'm trying to get on Fox Business with this, because I think that their viewers would actually, if you are right wing, if you're at January 6th, this would be a fun game for you to play. It's not I've met people who are at Jan 6. Some of them were fun, some of them were not as fun. One of them was deeply paranoid and it had clearly been the worst day of his life. Another guy thought it was just kind of like a funny thing that got a little out of hand. And I think any of those people, except for the person whose life it ruined, would have a great time playing this motherfucking board game.
I've talked to some people as well who are truthers that were there and still claim that it was completely innocent and it wasn't all that big of a deal.
Well, there's still people that claim that Antifa did it.
That's awesome. Which is true. I was there. I was, of course, leading the Antifa charge. we did it. But also it was good that we did it, depending on, because those people still say it was a good thing that it happened. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard people go, oh, it was Antifa, but also simultaneously free all of the very much Republican voters, like Trump supporters that were arrested because they were doing a good thing, even though Antifa was doing it. And that was bad.
I think the like smarter guy version of that theory is like the Darren Beattie thing, where it was like completely 100% feds that got everyone to do everything. And it's like, yeah, there were definitely federal agents among the crowd, and like, you know, especially in a lot of these right-wing militia groups. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
if you join a right-wing militia group in post 1980 and do not know that your entire leadership is probably almost all feds, that is your motherfucking bad, my brother. But it is, it's like, I think it's just a mix of the two, right? Like, I think people are having a good fucking time. I think there are definitely some federal agents who are like, let's commit some crimes on camera. But it's also like, at some point, when you walk in on one of the most fucking, like, you know, video cameraed places in America, it's kind of on you that you're about to get arrested.
Yeah, I mean, then you have like the guys like Derek Evans being like, Derek Evans is in the Capitol, like that West Virginia lawmaker, or I think like the state legislator or whatever, who had just recently won. Like, there's plenty of guys like that who are just like, oh, I'm doing this. I don't think there will be any repercussions for this because, one, I'm an idiot, and two, I personally, you know, think I'm doing the right thing, and of course, like, I'm a guy on the right side of history. Why would they ever arrest me for doing the right thing here?
Well, it's another thing too, is that like what makes like people freaking out about January 6th so strange to me is like, once these people actually got into the Capitol, like, yeah, they fought the cops, blah blah, outside. Listen, a lot of people fought the cops in 2020. It's like that on the scale of fighting the cops,
yeah,
people fought the cops worse through that year, you know?
Who wasn't fighting the cops? Yeah.
It was a year that a lot of cops got punched, but in various different situations. And so that wasn't particularly notable to me. I think what was notable to me is that like people get in the Capitol and it's like, well, what do you actually do when you're in there? You fucking live stream, you take some pictures, and you take a shit. Because like, frankly, I think that's what most Americans would do if they got in the Capitol. You'd probably take a funky dump, you would steal something that was funny, and then you would probably like take a selfie and be like, yo, like, I'm in a chair or whatever.
Yeah, what you couldn't do is steal the ballots before they were certified.
Yeah, that was like, and so like when people talk about like, oh, this was this scary day that like, you know, like they were gonna challenge democracy forever. It's like, well, that's not, you can't like, there's not like a button you can push on that motherfucker that's like, now Trump's president for another 4 years. And
I feel like the people that actually won't enjoy this game and won't play it are the liberals.
That is so part of the reason that we put this out is that we could get negative press in the liberal media, which has worked to an extent, although I'm hoping it picks up a little bit.
Yeah, well, your fan base can't make fun of the Independent for calling you a right-wing podcast then, because then they'll retract it and then you're cooked.
Tell them we're more right wing than we are. Like whatever one goes, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you are a fan of QAnon, if someone says we're right wing, go with it. Be like, yes, they're right wing. If someone says we're liberal, be like, yes, they're liberal or whatever. My whole thing is with this is I want to own January 6th as an intellectual property so that I can eventually sell slot machines that are themed January 6th to casinos. Because a lot of Malcolm in the Middle slot machines, there's Young Sheldon slot machines. I'm saying those are IPs that have been around for a really long time. I think January 6th is ripe for the fucking picking. And as a Jewish American, I think it is well within my rights to basically own a major part of American history and make $1 million off of this. Although technically, legally, I am making $0 off of the board game.
Why are you making $0 off the board game?
Because that's just the arrangement, which is fine with me. We're putting out with our friends. So the board game is, I'm like trying to do QVC style here. The board game is sold. The True Anon edition of the board game is sold out. So let me explain to these motherfucking live stream watches exactly what's going down here. The True Anon edition sold out within 20 minutes. which was insane to me.
Okay.
There is a second edition that is the pre-orders are open now, that is on stormthecapitolgame.com, which you can go to, or trueanon.com/STC, which takes you to a link there. Those will be shipping, I think, like in spring at some point. Because
what's the difference between the first edition and this edition?
It's just the first edition. You can sell those on eBay in 5 years for more.
Oh, okay.
You know, and it has.
I'm getting a first edition, right? You secured one for me.
I secured one for you.
Hell
Don't
yeah,
worry,
brother.
yes, of course. But yeah, it's got the little TrueAnon guy on it.
I think what you should do, and I mean this in all sincerity, is like try to get on Sebastian Gorka and like programs such as that one.
How do I do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, like I've been trying to like. I know, but I'm like, would he even see it? I feel like guys like that have just like verified replies on. I need like an in there.
You already have like news articles being written about you at this point. So you just got to kind of like bait them or something. And I do think that Sebastian Gorka and all those guys are like extremely online. Like every single person that has blocked me on Twitter, I know is like super online because I do not interact with them at all. So they must have seen something to be like, oh, I hate that. And then they did that. Or you can like call in too.
I want to get. I think Gutfeld would be really good. Greg Gutfeld is like probably the worst show on TV of any channel, and I really want to go on Gutfeld. And I think that he would. I think I could get some good sound bites to him. But like really, Fox Business and then MSNBC, I think, are the top two. Like any MSNBC shows are the top two that I want to get on. And I want to make it very clear to them that I'm trying to profit as much as possible off of the deaths of people at January 6th. Well, not just the deaths, but the entire event. Because that's what all the news articles keep getting mad at us that people died. But they're liberal articles. So I'm like, aren't you glad those people died?
Well, more people died as like cops that killed themselves or something, right?
They perished.
So maybe that's why. That's why they're mad. I don't fully understand that. So like what exactly, I still to this day, and I covered it live. It was probably it was my most popular stream to date. And I still don't personally fully understand how like all of these people died. Like there was, I mean, we know Ashley Babbitt, right? Like Ashley Babbitt's the famous one who got domed. And, you know, we mourned the loss of Ashley Babbitt, brave hero, American hero. Yeah, just, you know, gone too soon, that kind of stuff. But beyond that, it's like, I think some cops got trampled on. And then, they one cop, like, I think died of cancer or something. Like, I don't know what the deal is.
Two cops killed themselves because they had either such a bad time or such a good time, and that was haunting them, and they're like, I'll never do this again or whatever, and they killed themselves.
I don't understand that at all. Like what I
guess have you ever been in so much trouble that you're like, I wish I was dead?
Not really.
I've gotten in like a lot of trouble before, and like you're like, fuck, dude, like, but I never wanted to kill myself. I guess I just wish that I had never existed. And so it was more like that rather than like wishing that I wouldn't actually kill myself. And I feel like the cops, like, because everyone was so mad at the Capitol Police, I feel like those guys were probably like, oh, I can't fucking handle it anymore, and then kill themselves.
So it's not even like the January 6ers that caused their demise. It's like liberals that yelled at them, or conservatives that yelled at them too.
Everybody yelled. I will say Capitol Police kind of got it from both sides. Everybody was yelling at them because, you know, it was either they let them in or they beat up, you know, patriots or whatever. But I don't know why I have a fucking wrench.
We all got our emotional support tools. There's nothing wrong with that. I guess
that's true. I don't know where this came from.
Like you use that to break in, I assume.
I use this. I screwed my foreskin back on.
Okay.
It's like yours is a fucking yours.
No, I'm circumcised. I'm Muslim. I'm also I'm
not circumcised.
Wait, what?
Yeah, well, it's a long story.
Wait, what do you? Go ahead. Enlighten me, please.
I'm not circumcised, but I'm not exactly uncircumcised.
So what happened? It didn't take.
Have you seen Bugs Bunny ever? Like the little rabbit?
Mm-hmm. I'm familiar with Bugs Bunny.
Have you ever seen him really go fucking to town on a carrot, like in a way that you wouldn't ever believe if you saw it in real life? I had a moil when I was a kid, which is the person
You're gonna fucking say that,
which is the person that, you know. And my guy was kind of doing like he was like a hip moil or whatever.
I disavow
so
everything that Brace is saying.
he just on that
I
guy.
disavow Brace. I disavow Brace because he's Jewish. That's why I'm
it's more
disavowing him.
it's more like grooved. Oh, interesting, because of Israel stuff. Because it's more like grooved. It's more grooved than cut. Exactly. So like there's foreskin there, but there's also not. If you feel me, like it's
Okay.
like it's perforated.
I would rather have that be my circumstances than be circed up, and I am.
You could potentially, literally, you could actually play it as a real skin flute because it's hollow, but there's holes on the top of it. Neither here nor there, though. I'm trying to sell this board game.
Okay, go ahead.
But fuck. Oh, the other people that died at January 6th. If you look at, because like that independent article that they wrote about us, they were like trying to fact check my funky ass about the perishments that happened during that day. The people that died.
They did. That's always good. See that'll get the fucking Republicans riled up.
The people that died.
I'm just like they hate fact checking. Like they hate when liberal media
too.
Fact check you. Yeah. Oh,
Snopes. That fact check shit is just AI at this point, and that shit's lying to you. I think that so the Independent got mad because they said that they quoted me as saying that the people that died that day died from being too excited. Now that's not medically true in like a literal way, but it is actually, I think, colloquially doesn't make sense in there, but you know what I'm saying? It is true, because if you look at the causes that people died, Ashley Babbitt died because she ran at somebody pointing a gun at her. Do you know how excited you have to be about something to run towards a fucking pointed gun?
Yeah.
You got to be so stoked.
Yeah, you don't even notice it. Like you run at the guy with a weapon that's trained on you. You don't even notice it in that moment. That's excitement. I think you're valid.
The other thing is,
I think we should fact check the fact checkers. Honestly,
let me look this up. This New York Times article. New York Times, Jan 6 deaths. All right, these are the people who died in connection. Well, that's some journalist talk. In connection with January 6th. Okay. Ashley Babbitt fatally shot by a Capitol police officer as rioters tried to breach the House chamber. Correct. Kevin D. Greeson died of a heart attack collapsing on the sidewalk west of the Capitol. You know what gives you a heart attack? Excitement. Being too excited about something. You ever been at the strip club, Hasan, and you see a particularly luscious dancer appear on the stage, and then you see an old person who's perhaps sitting next to you, maybe an older gentleman friend of yours that you brought to the club because it's like a bucket list thing. He dies because of how fat her ass is.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time.
It's happened to me. Thousands of bodies in my wake. Roseanne Boylan appears to have been crushed in a stampede. I will say that, not exciting. Also, a terrible way to die. Benjamin Phillips, the founder of a pro-Trump website called Trumparoo, died of a stroke, which is also something that technically happens if you're too excited. Another guy.
He was too hard, probably.
Oh, wait. I guess Roseanne Boylan died of an accidental overdose, which is okay. That's
celebration in connection, maybe.
In connection,
wait,
maybe
someone was there. Okay, so they were doing. Wait, I said Capsulon earlier, but what is the
Captagon?
Captagon, not Capsulon. Capsulon is a Netherlands food. Yeah, they were doing their version. They were doing Hog Captagon.
My friend did Captagon once, and he said like his face was like stone, felt like stone for 2 days.
That doesn't seem pleasant.
No.
Yeah.
And then the 3 police officers that perished. Brian D. Sicknick of the Capitol Police, who was attacked by the mob, died on January 7th. Jeffrey Smith killed himself after the attack, and then Officer Howard Liebengood also killed himself a few days after the attack. 4 days after the attack, though, because I'm like, what? Something could have happened in his life, and it's not necessarily the Capitol attack. And so, yes, I will say 8 people died, and that's sad. But
they
the
died
best,
doing what they love.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what fucking better way to die? If you would love somebody so much that you would do that for them, you would go to the Capitol for them. What's better than dying? You go to heaven.
Oh, dude, Valhalla for sure. Hog Valhalla, 100%.
Completely. I don't understand it. I mean, listen. Maybe it's different in different religions, but I know all these people were probably whatever Protestant or whatever, and you definitely you mostly go to heaven in that one, right?
I have no clue, but I suspect it's like similar to being martyred. Like you are martyred in the righteous cause of trying to stop the ballot certification process from happening.
You're Hasan, let me ask you something. You're Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this conversation is over. No. Which is the easiest one to get into heaven in? Is it hard in Islam?
I don't know. I don't think it's that easy. You got to pray 5 times a day. There's a lot going on.
It's got to be.
You got to do Ramadan, which is, I think, probably the most hardcore one is like Ramadan.
Sure.
There's so much work in Islam. Like,
dude,
you have to do zakat, which is also like, if you don't like giving money back to people, then it's like kind of shitty.
I do my zakat at the strip club. You
do zakat? Yeah. Well, that's a form of distribution of your overall wealth. Yeah.
When I used to work in a boxing gym, and this Christian group, actually, who were very nice, but for some reason, but very kind of stupid, because they wanted to do a like charity boxing tournament, and to do that, they like paid us like a bunch of money to like get them like licensed and all that shit, and to train them for months. And I remember when we actually did the event being like, I think they lost money on this. Like, I don't think they're going to be able to give any money to charity. But it was like this like Christian group from the South Bay. And then one of them got sick right before a week before the fight. And so we had to have somebody who was a heavyweight step in. And we got the guy from the liquor store down the street, who was actually the first liquor store that ever I drank a beer from when I was 13 years old. He had used to box at the gym when he was a kid, and it was he was like, I'll step in. He was, he was a rather hefty individual. And it was during Ramadan, and he's Muslim, and so he like couldn't drink water or fucking eat.
Yeah, that I don't understand. I don't know how a lot of athletes do this, and it's like shocking to me that they are able to do it. Like, I mean, there's like very little loopholes on that too. Like Sifidi is like, if you're in transit, then you like make up for it after the fact. Like you can like take a day off basically. But yeah, for those of you who don't know in the chat, you can't drink water from sun up to sundown. And you can't eat from sun up to sundown. Like you can't brush your teeth. Like there's none of that. You can't do any of that.
I mean, it's the water thing. Is because I get so thirsty. The water thing, I could never. I would convert to another religion if the first time I got thirsty. I would just. But then all the other religions got the food things too. It's. But anyways,
Jews do it for one day.
Right? I know, and most of us don't do it. He trained for a week. He had not boxed in like 10 years. He was, again, a rather hefty individual. And then in his fight, he knocked the guy out in one fucking punch. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. And he sucked at boxing. But that, to me, displayed the power of Islam. But not enough for me to convert, because it seems like it's too hard to get to heaven. What I was going with that is I would like to, when I'm older and perhaps unhealthier, figure out which religion is the easiest to get to heaven under. And I'll probably make a pretty radical turn towards whatever one that is.
Yeah. I assume it's like it's probably Christianity, I feel like.
Yeah, but which of those is because Catholicism,
I don't know, there's one.
Like a guy forgives you, but I feel like they're hella strict. So like there's more rules that I could possibly break.
Yeah.
Lutheranism?
I thought in Catholicism you just like kind of give money to the church and then like you confess your sins and then the guy's like, you're fine, you're good.
Yeah, but like what if like it's a John Wick situation and like you like have to fight a bunch of people and while you're fighting them, you sin, and then you get hit kind of in a crazy way, and you're bleeding, and there's all these chicks around and all that kind of stuff, but there's no priest. You can't confess. Do you
That's
still
true.
like? Do you go like? Is it good after? I don't want to know really the answer.
Mormons can baptize you. Like, I think you'll probably go to Mormon heaven regardless, no matter what, because like they baptize everybody.
And Frank,
So
she's
yeah,
Mormon.
and Frank and Adolf Hitler. So like,
and Adolf. That's crazy that they're in heaven together. And
Yeah.
I don't think that they should be. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I don't think that they should be, but that's Mormonism's kind of big deal.
I've thought about this a lot. I feel like maybe it's more so like, you know, they baptize like every Holocaust victim, right? Like all the people that died in the Holocaust. So I think like the maybe they were thinking like in a woke way, like Hitler is punished in perpetuity in heaven. You know what I mean? Like he's in heaven
with all of them.
and he's got like babes and stuff. But also at the same time, everyone's like, dude, you're harshing our vibes. Like what you did was really fucked up. So they constantly are just like owning him. I guess if they're on the same planet, I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they do got the different planets. Have you been to Salt Lake City?
I have not. No.
It's a fucking freak show, man.
I assume, yeah.
I forgot where I was going with that.
Someone in the chat said Shen Yun is the easiest religion.
It is. No, dude, it's way hard. There's a physical component to what their whole deal is. And also, they don't have in Falun Gong, every race has a different heaven. So you can only I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go to heaven with just Jewish people. Like that's we don't have one for a reason.
That's crazy. So they're that die hard on race mixing that they like literally don't even think you can go to heaven together.
Yeah, which is crazy because what if you've never met a Latina? Like you're from fucking like, you know, Xinjiang or whatever. And like you spend your whole life, like you convert from Islam, no disrespect to Islam, but you convert to Falun Gong and you go to Falun Gong heaven, never once in your life met a Latina, which is crazy.
That's pretty messed up,
they're very energetic.
So what it I don't know how they sort you. Is there like an auto sorting if you're mixed race? Like how does that, or you just automatically go to jail? I mean jail, hell.
Williams decides.
Yeah. I suspect that like you're cooked if you're mixed race.
Yeah. No, that's their whole thing is that your soul gets confused.
Yeah. Yeah. You just can't really do that.
I must remind your audience once again, stormthecapitalgame.com. It is available now.
Okay.
How else are you celebrating January 6th?
Dude, in the nerdiest way possible. I mean, I had Adam Friedland on from your trailer.
Yes. He was in LA?
Yeah, he's in LA right now. I had him on yesterday, and I was trying to explain to him like some of the stuff I do, and it's like kind of sad. I don't know how to like describe what I'm about to do. It's there's Grand Theft Auto 5 is a video game.
Yes,
and it has like these custom servers. They're role play servers. So I will be playing on one of the most famous role play servers called No Pixel later, as we are going to storm the Capitol in Los Santos, the fictional city after Los Angeles, created after Los Angeles in Grand Theft Auto 5 online with a bunch of other people.
How did your audience react to Adam?
They loved it. I mean, I have a lot of like old Cumtown fans in here too. And also he was on his best behavior. He didn't say anything messed up.
That's good.
Oh, you meant how did they react to him because he's Jewish?
They love it. They love it. I know he could probably make some pretty good connections for you in Hollywood.
Well, this is the #1 anti-Semitic community online. The most pro Hamas.
Are you in trouble because of your views on Israel?
Not really, but a lot of people have gotten very mad at me, and they've like quietly left the community because they're like, "This is unacceptable. Like this man is not a real progressive." What is real progressive? Real progressivism means you have to be pro-Israel.
I do love that one Gamergate lady. I saw her.
Brianna
Wu.
She's like, listen, if you're 40 years old and you're talking about if you're anyone on the planet that says the word tanky, automatically you have to go to jail.
It's
I
crazy.
think prison.
It's crazy.
And the older you get, or the more, if you've ever run for office and you know what that word is, or you use it at all, unironically, extra jail. Okay, solitary confinement.
It's crazy.
That's my rule.
I rock with her, obviously, due to her position in male-dominated media of being annoying, and so I rock with her 100% to the hilt. But I do think that perhaps some of her political opinions are a little crazy. I have been thinking that, Hasan, I feel like I would be a really good fixture in the debate ecosystem that is
I am not a part of the debate ecosystem.
I know that.
I know. But everyone always does say that I'm like one of the debate guys, which I hate so much.
Those are crazy because I sometimes just come across that stuff just on the internet, and it's be like 6 hours of like Quasimodo looking motherfuckers being like, should, you know, like with the post in, I don't even know
it almost always devolves into age of consent laws and like the ethics of child pornography. Like, because at a certain point you run out of things to debate on, so you always arrive at that final like debate topic. That's the
I should just, dude, I'm just thinking at 34, I'm like, I should get into either watching or doing these. And because if I feel like I could really carve out a niche there.
You should start doing debates. You should. It's like, but my favorite is just like how serious people take it. Like there'll be like a 3-hour debate on. I was talking to Adam about this yesterday. It's like debating my ex-wife on whether she was faithful to me or not. And it's like a 4-hour debate. And like you see the chat going through as they're talking about it, and they're like, this is the most serious, this is peak intellectual conversation right here.
Yeah,
like it's like very serious, and you have to take it seriously, or else you're not a serious person.
It's crazy to me because it's sometimes like whenever I encounter stuff like that, that's like realizing that there's other, like, you know, when you're younger and you think that the universe is like, this is it, or the galaxy, like this is it, it's the Milky Way galaxy. And then you realize that there's a ton of other galaxies with other stars in them, and like probably things that we couldn't even comprehend, and alien forms and colors that the eye couldn't even see. But not only could the eye not see it, but the brain comprehend it. That's what it's like to me, like seeing that there's like a 6-hour debate on whether cheating should be illegal.
No, exactly.
I'm just like, that's the wonders of the universe are fucking ceaseless.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect. It's awesome. It's just mostly Reddit, I think. Like Reddit and Reddit adjacent communities just kind of cultivate that kind of mentality where it's like, I'm not actually cyber stalking my favorite online content creator, like female content creator. I'm actually holding her accountable.
Yes.
That's what they do.
So sick.
They moralize it. They moralize their behavior a lot where they're like, this is actually the most important thing you could do right now. It's like making sure that, you know, Pokemon's cookies are $7. I'm holding her accountable for that, please. Like that sort of thing.
Well, this game is $64.99. Available at
They're gonna fucking hold you accountable. They're gonna be like, "That's so expensive." You're right wing. You're not a socialist. So.
I'm right wing, dude.
Yeah.
I'm right. Well, no. Here's the thing. I am a right wing socialist.
You're fucking.
Well, there's a lot of different words. There's no. It's like a more nationalistic thing, but like there's a lot of different words for it, and like history that people kind of get crazy about. I'm just like saying, like I believe what I believe. You know, I am definitely I believe in basically every side of every issue. This is why I think I could do debates, is because I agree with everybody.
Yeah.
It's all like my one political opinion is this, Hasan. It's all love, and my one ask is this: can I get a hug, or where's my hug at? That's my question. That's my ask.
It's pretty good. You could do it. I mean, those guys on the debate side only care about debating anyway. They don't have like any fucking discernible ideology. No. Like they don't give a shit. They'll fucking one day they'll be like, I can't. One of my favorites is getting mad at like the word cracker as like the worst slur you can say while simultaneously advocating for white people to be able to say the N-word.
See, that's like, this is the thing. I feel like it would be so fun to have that opinion, or like to think that. Like that would never, I guess, occur to me.
Yeah.
like I just wouldn't encounter that in my like day-to-day life or whatever. But like if my life was like having to think thoughts like that, I think I would be 10,000 million times happier than I am now, which is already really happy.
I mean, I don't know if those guys are happy, to be honest. Like,
They look miserable,
if
but
you're being
honestly,
oppressed by the word cracker as a white person, like, you're probably not all that happy.
that's true. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's true. They really got to get. That's the thing. That's why we're on top still. Is because they never came up with like a really hurtful slur for us. Because like I gotta be since I was a kid. If you're getting mad at cracker, you're kind of faking it. You
Oh
know,
yeah, 100%. Like,
you're not
racist
really
people
mad
don't get
about
mad
that.
at it. Like, racist white
Nobody
people are
gets
like,
mad
oh,
at
it's
that.
funny. It's like a great, yeah, exactly.
Once they figure out a way to really get us,
Yeah,
because even the ones for Jews, which I'll do you the favor of not saying here,
yeah. Please don't.
uh, but I could.
No,
Even the ones for us,
no.
it's like some of them are like mean, you know. There's
Mm-hmm.
one in particular with a kind of harsh resonance when you say it, but the other ones are like, I can't really get mad at this. You know what I mean? They're goofy. They sound like children's cartoon shows or whatever.
Yeah, but
Uh,
there's at least like a historical wrong associated with it, whereas like with white people, it's just kind of been cooling for a while.
it's just like who's gonna? I mean, we're doing it. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
rocking with you. But white people, I love you. What did Grimes say? I respect your inventions and culture.
Um,
Uh,
she's proud of her white identity. I think. I think
Is
that's
she
what she said.
is she white? I don't know what race is going on with
She's
that.
from Quebec, so no.
No, and she's like,
No.
isn't she like, I am a computer now or whatever? You're not white anymore. You're a fucking microchip.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I will say this, Grimes. If you're watching this, first of all, you look like you smell so fire. Stormthecapitalgame.com. But uh, it's I'm telling you, I think that the biggest invention that AI can give us is the invention of a hurtful slur for whites. And we need to stop AI from inventing that because I think that could cause a race war.
Dude, you're literally the opposite of Elon Musk in this situation, or like Ben Shapiro, where Ben Shapiro's like, why won't the AI say the N-word? And you're like on the other side. This is
I'm
the
like,
real
don't
AI truther debate.
You cannot make a new N-word AI because
Yeah.
if you do that, the power of AI unbridled, unleashed with a new slur could
Yeah.
fucking end not only this country, but other countries that have a diverse population of many different colors.
I think China needs to get on the AI train and figure out a way to do that. That exactly what you're saying.
We could not show China racial slurs. If they figure out about those, they could figure out how to tear this fucking country apart.
Yeah. Well, that's
If
what's
they
going to
can
happen
invent a new
inevitably.
one,
That's what's going to happen inevitably, I think. Chinese AI invents an N-word for white people that is actually oppressive and harmful, and then they take over.
Because right now we're lucky. We're lucky because all of their writing is in Chinese, and that's really hard for me to read because it's like drawings.
Yeah.
But if they figure out not only a new mean word, but if they figure out how to say it in English, I don't know. Taiwan, forget it. It's like they're coming to fucking.
Oh, yeah.
There's nukes on California. It's gonna be a fucking bloodbath.
Yeah.
We have to prevent. We need like a new global agency to prevent this kind of thing from happening.
It pops off so hard that like all of the weapons currently trained on mainland China turn around and are now trained on continental United States. Like Japan joins in. Like
I hope that there's enough people that like I hope because now I live in New York and I'm just like I hope that there's enough cousins of people who control nuclear weapons in other countries to not nuke it here.
No, well, with China, then you're set.
We're set.
Yeah, we're so set. There's like literally no fucking place where there isn't like, especially like upper echelon Chinese Politburo people. Like they all have, family members that are living in all the big cities. And I guess like Oklahoma is cooked, but beyond that, it's like none of the places that you care about in America are devoid of Chinese people. So like we're set.
If like stuff with Taiwan ever starts heating up, I am fucking breakneck speed making it to MIT to the dorms there because that is like the safest place in America at that point.
Yeah, it's like what's the guy the I think it was like the Secretary of Defense at the time who was like, "Oh, I went to Kyoto. Like, let's not bomb that place. Like, it's actually quite lovely." But then that times like, a million because
my little cousins enrolled in Yale or whatever. I'm like, I am going. That's like for a war with China. The bomb shelter is just Ivy League college. Just go there and like stay. West Coast, you just got to go to Stanford or San Francisco. But Stanford is you just gotta fucking. If I'm telling you,
Irvine, that's for like still the not as achieving, but like still important.
If warships are spotted off the coast of Taiwan, get in that motherfucking Uber to Irvine immediately, Hasan.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'm safe. I'm safe.
I'm Chinese.
I'm safe. I just got to get on that Duolingo and learn a little bit, brush up on my Mandarin. You know what I want to be? You know how like there's the son of Hamas guy?
Yeah.
Right? Like he's always like, "Oh, I am the son of Hamas," like, and they are dogs, they rape camels, like that guy. I want to be that guy for China, for like Americans. You know what I mean? I want to be like Americans, the Americans, they rape dogs. Like they love having sex with dogs. That's what they do. The Han Chinese is superior.
I'm always fascinated, like Lord Haha, like or Hee Haw, whatever, the guy who worked for the Nazis, or like there was one in Tokyo Rose, I guess, was Japanese. She just spoke English, but like I love like the people who Ezra Pound went to Italy during World War II, like the people who sort of just like split from their fucking home country and just like become propagandists and end up saying insane shit. I gotta say, one of the most goated jobs, because you are taking such a crazy gamble there.
Yeah, like the thing is, like, even with DPRK, like the dudes that actually went there, they were treated like celebrities, right?
Yeah,
like
they were in movies.
Yeah, it was like hard. It was difficult for them to integrate, obviously, because like most people were just like, I haven't really interacted with white people that much. But beyond that, like you're kind of a massive celebrity in the entire country. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, America's slacking. Look at Yami Park. We don't treat her that good. I mean, she got best plastic surgery, but
oh my God, 10.
You should get her to promote this game somehow.
I feel like I feel like I could. I'm like, oh, you know what? I bet I could. I wonder if I could get at some of these people via Cameo. Like, not get them to do cameos, but like contact them.
Oh,
through
George Santos,
Cameo.
easy. Like that's a.
I know, but I feel like Santos is now like he's
washed up.
He's washed. Yeah, like I need like not Laura Ingraham, like
Kevin Sorbo.
Sorbo would be good.
You could. He probably has a cameo, I assume.
Yeah, although I feel like Cameo became much less popular for real celebrities. Like, I don't know if Kevin Sorbo's... Well, he's a real
I don't
celebrity.
know if Kevin Sorbo is considered a real celebrity. James Wood?
James Wood's a real celebrity.
Yeah.
I feel like I think he might like the game. Like, James Woods would I think he would dig it.
John Voight.
John Voight would like it. My thing is,
But Santos was there at January 6th. Or 5th.
Fuck, he was at January 6th. I have his number.
Yeah, you should hit him up, honestly. Because, like, think about it this way. He was there, and he personally compared Trump's election being stolen from him, which we all know is real. That did happen. He compared it to his election being stolen originally. So
the last text I sent to him, I've only called him. I've never actually had a successful text conversation with him. We've talked on the phone a couple times, but the text I sent to him is, I sent this on December 1st. We probably disagree politically, but I know what it's like to have hard days where everyone's mad at you. Hang in there and good luck today.
See, this is it. This is perfect. Like, this is how you are the real bipartisan guy that bridges the gap in America.
I love everybody. I love everybody of every political opinion, every race, every gender and genre of person, every religion, what's the other things that you can have to be diverse? Every education level, every class, especially rich people, every job.
The real minorities, when you think about it.
Rich people?
Not
that many. No, not that many.
Yeah.
Not that many of them, and hated. but
Yeah.
it's okay to do, which is
Yeah.
interesting. But none of my business. I like job creators, and I like people who have jobs, and I like policemen, and I like criminals. I like women and men. I like dwarves, not the people with the thingy, but like real ones that like live underground and
Yeah,
stuff.
like with the
But
beards and
with the
Gimli like
beards, all
style.
that kind
Yeah.
of shit. The bulldogs, and I like elves and things of that nature.
That's
Tree
pretty
folk.
as woke of you. That's the
Do you
real
remember
that's
that? Do you remember that TV show where it was like a bunch of like little motherfuckers, and they like rescued pit bulls?
No, I do not remember that show at all. What?
It
There's
was
an
on.
actual show about like people with dwarfism that were rescuing, or were they just like short people? I don't understand.
No, that'd be funny if it was like a show about people who are all 5'3". Like, do you know if you're 4'10" or under, you're technically disabled, even if you don't have
Wait,
dwarfism?
are you serious?
I'm not
I
joking.
had
If
this
you're
conversation
4'10"
literally today, earlier at the gym.
No
I
shit, you saw a short person and told them, because I've done that before.
no, I have not. I did not do that. No, I'm first of all, as someone who's 6'4", I can't do that. That's like the most
You
racist.
are, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
that is,
automatically am like a Klansman to short
that is
people
true.
by just
The
but
Holocaust will end your
it,
kind.
the tall cutting of the tall trees. Which is this time literally by height. But no, I had this conversation because we were talking about the well, I don't know if this is TOS, so I can't say it, but like the word that starts with M. And
Yeah,
one of my buddies was like, no, like you don't understand. It's different. Like dwarf and the word that starts with M are different. And I was like, no, the M word is a slur for people with dwarfism. And like even saying dwarf now is like kind of what you have to say now is like little people. And he was right. It turns out like on Google, it literally says if you are under 4'10", I guess, like you said, but don't have dwarfism, you're technically like people call you the word that starts with M, but you don't have dwarfism. So it's like a specific
but you can get
designation.
money. You can get money from the government. Like, you can get on, like, I not SS. I think it's SSI. You can get on shit. The show's called Pit Boss.
That's awesome.
It's really good. If I was you, I would probably stop with politics and just do a watch and rewatch of Pit Boss, basically noon to night every single day on this
Why?
motherfucking Twitch stream.
Who came up with that? That's like it's such an insane concept.
Me, I would come up with that.
Okay, to be honest though, like this is I don't know if this is an inappropriate question or not, but like do they ride the pit bulls or
Well, obviously, that's the first thing you ask. Yeah.
Okay, well that's like
not that I've seen. I think that is illegal. Like, that would be illegal
wait,
from a
why?
different.
I would
I don't
100
know. I mean, I think that my thing with this, I think it's illegal to saddle a dog in the first place, so we'd see a lot more babies on dogs. You'd see a lot less strollers and a lot more organic strollers.
Probably not on pit bulls, you know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd see it. Well, you'd see a baby in a pit bull, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's normal.
That's why you got the fucking piece, right?
What? The piece?
The gun.
Oh,
It's a
the
pit
gun?
bull.
Oh yeah, so I can yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Superman
People do love
style. Say
babies.
baby.
So, but that's the thing. Like, dogs actually don't have any way of like the reason why dogs like maul children is because like one, they're handsy. Two, their
Yeah.
vibes are fucked, and three, they kind of deserve it usually.
Yeah.
But like, the other reason is because they think like they don't understand like that a child size wise is like a human, and they think
Yeah.
it's like another animal.
Like a squirrel.
Yeah. So I think that's for that reason, it's like odd. The pit boss concept is like interesting because like this is like size wise something that a pit bull would most likely think is like a child.
The thing
Which
is, though,
is a delicious delicacy to a pit bull.
I forgot about this twist to the show. Is that the tagline is, it's about a foul-mouthed ex-con with a big heart. I forgot that the pit boss is a formerly incarcerated criminal, and so he's probably like I can fuck these dogs up if I need to.
I respect that. I mean,
Well, I rarely think that about it. I think most dogs could probably annihilate me, because I think the hesitation that I would have between being able to you know,
You shouldn't be using your hands. First of all, like
No,
I
you
used to have
should
a
because
pit
they don't
bull.
have them.
I used to. Wait, what? No,
They don't have them, so you're automatically.
No, you're making it fair. No, I've thought about this before because like I had a pit bull. He unfortunately passed away. He's a wonderful dog. His name is Fish, and I've thought about this before because like he was pretty big. He was like around 80 pounds, and like if a pit bull came at me, I would definitely just like kick it. I would try to stay. Like I would try to make sure that my head and neck area is like as far away as possible, and then I would just like kick the pit bull or any dog really if it came up after me.
I think my fear, my like hesitation would be that it would grab my leg and wouldn't let go. Because I know a guy who got bit by a dog really bad on the leg, and like it's like because pit bulls don't let, they're like anacondas. But I would probably try to bite it back. Because if it bit me on the leg, I could reach over and bite its ass really crazy. Not like in the butthole, but like on top of the ass. And so I could probably like fuck it up because it wouldn't because dogs are stupid. So it wouldn't understand that Ike was the same creature that was in front of it and behind it at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is total full spectrum.
And then he would have to let go because he'd be like, oh no, who's this other pit bull behind me?
That?
Like, my worst nightmare is being attacked by a pit bull from behind, and then he lets go, and then,
And he looks back, and then, bam, right in the face, freeze motherfucker, down, on the ground, pause where I can see them, you're coming with me. Yeah. And then, of course, I sell them to furriers, frankly. I would sell them to furriers. Yeah, I would sell them to people who make dog fur things.
Oh, that's a thing? I didn't know that.
Well, it would be in this. It would be then. I'll tell you that. I have dog skin shoes.
Oh,
I mean they're vintage.
What? Brace, this is a serious question. Okay, serious question. Even though we are talking about the most sincere things right now, have you been to China?
No, I would fucking kill it there.
Okay, do you want to go to China? Because I want to go to China this year. That's like one of my New Year's resolutions. I want to go to China.
I want to go to China really bad.
Me too. Would you be down to go if I set it up? I have two buddies, the two Australian buddies of mine that also want to go.
Yeah.
They're the ones that went to. They're fans of yours as well. They're the ones who went to North Korea to get a haircut. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Alex and Alexa, and I feel like they're down. They want to go. They want to go to China as well. And they have been.
To go to China. We could prevent World War III.
Yeah.
I rock with China.
Or accelerated, and then, we're the white monkeys.
Start. The is Guilo? Yeah, Guilo, China, I think. I'm a white ghost. That's so sick. I would definitely call me a white monkey instead of a white ghost because I feel like that's more insulting. But, I would let's go to China. I'll learn how to speak Chinese.
Yeah.
I feel like me speaking Chinese as a concept would sound racist. Like, no matter how sincerely I learned it, I feel like
you'd be like that swagged out white boy that does it. What is his name? Like Xiaoman or something?
That guy who's always like, look, I learned how to speak. I try to do that all the time. I just like sit outside a restaurant, hear people talking, and then I kind of just try to say what I thought they said. Yeah. And people really don't like that.
Yeah. No, you have to like learn at least a couple. I think his trick is like he learns a couple things to say in the language, and then he learns how to say it like really well. I think his like Chinese is actually his Mandarin is like very good, but like there's other languages like he'll pop off on like some language that only, like 50,000 people speak or something. You know what I mean? Like a dialect, like a regional dialect. And then he doesn't learn the whole thing, in my opinion. He just learns like a couple words, but he says it really good. And
I think the real, because you were just in Italy, right?
Yeah.
The real, like, something I learned a long time ago, which is fucked up, is that if you're somewhere where people kind of maybe speak a little English, but they speak it heavily accented, like Italy, like, if you say Times Square to somebody in Italy, they'll be like, what the fuck are you saying? But if you say in Italy, Timasquare, people will actually, you really do, if you talk to people in English, but in their accent, they will understand you better.
You're literally describing Japanese English. Like when you do that in America, everyone's like, oh, you're being racist towards the Japanese. when you do that in Japan, that's like there's an entire like that is the language.
Yeah,
Like
I know, but I unfortunately with today's media environment, I can't do it.
yeah, no,
Because, believe me,
katakana is like what it's called. It's unironically the language with like loan words, like English with loan words, and then like you add some additional letters in there. Like, you know, how do you give me a word in the chat. Godzilla is Gojira. No, but that's not what I mean. Like, yeah, like you say ham sandwich is a hummus sandwichu. Like that's not even a
Really?
joke. Yes.
But bro, if I said that, people would not like that. Because my
You
voice
try it right
is
now.
very high.
It's not katakana. Sorry, romanji, right?
Hamu sandwichu.
Yeah, you say hammo sandwichi onegashimasu.
Hanu sandwichi omogashinasu.
Yeah. See?
In Kurdish, I just straight up spoke Kurdish, but I spoke it. Unfortunately, if I didn't understand how to speak like say a sentence, I would just say it with American sentence structure, or with English sentence structure, which is not the same as Kurdish sentence structure. And people would be kind of confused, but if you say enough right words, people do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I do not. Of course, it's illegal for me to learn Kurdish.
Well, Turkish is hard as fuck. Every time I talking to someone in Turkish, they're like, Ozgurkuluk. They always were saying Ozgurkuluk. Yoldash.
Özgürlük. Which means freedom.
Yeah. It was always like a heavy sound, which was really tough for me.
Yeah. Umlauts.
Yoldash. We'd have to say.
Yoldash.
You'd have to be like, yeah, because you'd have to like say someone's name and then Yoldash. I had to call them like, comrade.
Comrade.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to say Yola. In Kurdish, it's Heval, which just means it literally translates. It's the same thing as comrade, but it translates to friend, which I think is very sweet.
That's cute. That's
Not
nice.
that you would understand anything about that.
No,
Kurdish friends.
Yeah, no, I would not.
I will say though, just like that one guy who speaks Chinese, because there's like nobody speaks Kurdish. Every time I've gone into a Kurdish restaurant in America, which has been like 3 times, this is like 3 Kurdish restaurants, they would get so excited that this white boy was speaking Kurdish to them.
Yeah.
That I would get hooked up with food. That it made me feel bad because I'd be like, I really just said hello. Like, how you guys doing?
Well, I mean, that's just menace shit though. Like they'll hook you up regardless if you're like not immediately antagonistic and racist. Until you tell them you're Jewish, in which case it might.
Oh yeah, like it's not if you can't tell that I'm Jewish. No disrespect, but you have no business being an Arab. Look at me. Look at that fuck. I can touch the bottom of my nose with my tongue without really sticking it out.
I can do that too.
I know, but you guys have your thingy because you guys are basically Greeks. This is what people don't understand. If you go to Greece and you go to Turkey, I mean, I've never been to Turkey, but I've seen a lot of Turkish people.
You've never been to Turkey?
I can't go to Turkey.
Oh, why not? Why not? Well, neither can I currently. So.
Can you not?
Well, I can. It's just
I wouldn't if I was you.
But what happens after is like, well, even talking to you is like probably not the best thing for my street cred in Turkey. But I could go. It's who knows what might happen. I don't know if I'd be able to leave as easily.
Yeah, because you would meet the most fucking so sick baller ass Turkish men who spent all day smoking cigarettes outside and like sitting in little fucking chairs, smoking cigarettes outside, and you'd be like, "Hello, how are you guys doing?" They'd be like, "Sit with us," and then they would talk to you for a while, and you're like, "Wait, maybe we should like kind of be like Bulgaria. Maybe should be part of this. Maybe Greece, parts of Greece at least. Maybe the whole thing.
Oh, for
someday.
sure. Oh, easy.
Islands maybe should be up in this bitch. Maybe
not Hungary though. Not Hungary." Because those guys, they can't cut it. They think they're Christian. They're like, oh, we're so different.
They're Mongolian.
Yeah, it's like really Majaristan. And then they have a different word for it for like the Western people. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Hungary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Chill.
I will say, speaking of Storm the Capital, the board game available at stormthecapitalgame.com, this game was made with 2 Hungarians. Well, Hungarian Americans. And it is Let me ask you. Do not ask this. Do not ask how to speak Hungarian to these people because they don't know. I don't think anybody does it. I know multiple Hungarians, and the whole thing. I'm like not even sure Hungary exists because every description I've ever achieved from somebody who is Hungarian has made no sense to me. It's like you guys are like Mongolian, but white,
but Christian,
but Christian. But you kind of are like a little bit Balkan too, but you're a little bit central. You're also Central European. What are you?
Yeah, it's just it doesn't make sense. It's just they're wannabe white boys smack dab in the middle of an area that's like entirely too close and has been associated with both obviously the Turkic hordes and also the Ottoman Empire. So they betrayed it. They betrayed the cause. Like Albanians, on the other hand, the Mountain Turks.
Yeah. Oh, let me ask you this: I'm going to go through Turk or not.
Okay.
Greek, are they Turkish?
Oh, for sure. Well, easy.
Macedonians, I feel like that's very
easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Albanians, we already covered that.
Yeah.
Serbians, Turkish.
Yeah. But like yes and no. Serbians are like they go back and forth.
They're
like,
back and forth.
They're back and forth. Hatred for your neighbor, like vicious hatred for your neighbor, so much so that you want to kill them, like unconditionally, is a very Turkish quality. And they look really Turkish, and they have a lot of food that's like very Turkish.
Bulgarians,
also Turkish.
Romanians.
Now we're getting into now we're talking about Janissary Turks. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
Romanians might be Indian.
That I don't understand. But because it's like I don't get it. It's like you got the Roma people, you got the Romani, but then I think the Romani are like supposed to be from India originally.
They are.
But then you have Romania, and I don't know what's going on there.
I don't either. I don't think they really want us to talk about that either. They're too close.
It's too close to the naming convention is like way too close, and I don't understand it.
Let me ask you this: Ukraine. Are they Turkish?
Ukraine is. No, I wouldn't say Ukrainians are Turks. Crimea, Turkish.
I was going to say Crimea is Turkish.
Oh, unconditionally.
Cossacks to me also seem Turkish.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely there's already Turkic people in Russia and like Russian territory, former USSR territory. So like Ukrainians, I wouldn't say are Turkish though, or Turkic.
Yeah, but some people in Ukraine are Turkish.
Oh, for sure.
Without being necessarily from Turkey.
Yeah.
I would say kind of anywhere around like on the looking down at the map when it's spread in front of me, the right side, I guess the eastern side of the Black Sea, that seems Turkish to me as well. Except of course for Armenia. Turkish.
No, not Turkish.
Not Turkish. But
no,
Azerbaijan, let's be real.
Oh, very
those
Turkish.
are Turks. Those are fucking Turks. I'm not really sure why they're not Turkey.
Their language is like marginal differences. That's why. It's like they're Turkish, but they wanted to be a part of the USSR. They're the communist Turks.
Let me ask you this. Pakistan, Turkish?
Now we're getting into, I feel like the more you go in the Asian direction, if you don't go like northern part, if you go to Southern Asia, I feel like that's like not as Turkish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they're all Romanian. Like Pakistanis are Romanian.
Romani.
Well, no, not Romani.
Romanian.
Literally Romanian. Yeah. They're Romanian, subcontinental Romanians. Whereas Indians, of course, are like Bulgarian subcontinental. This is kind of how I view the world. Everything is either.
I like that. I like that you've arrived at Ponturnism, which is like the only correct way to approach the world in global
Finns,
conflict.
I didn't ask this. Finns, of course, Turkish. Are also Turkish.
Not even a question. Yeah,
and I don't think they'll even.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll even argue with that.
Yeah, that's the problem with Magyar people. Like they speak like a Finnish style language. And because they are technically of Turkic descent, but they don't want to, like, they try so hard not to be. Whereas the Finnish, like, they're welcome. They're Turkish.
They're Turkish.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the North, of Norwegians and Swedes and Finns.
They're
It
too
seems
tall.
scary to me. It's too tall and cold, and
Yeah, I don't know how they live like that. And then like sometimes the sun doesn't set, or sometimes the sun doesn't rise, and that shit is weird as fuck to me. I don't understand
how is
that.
there so few of them? Like, shouldn't there be more Swedish people?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like, I don't know. They just like too much inbreeding. They just like kind of stick to themselves.
Like, you just fuck your own family, and so like there's just like the same amount of families that there's been for like, I don't know, 400, 500 years.
They have an app. Like in Iceland, they literally have an app to make sure that like the person that you're hooking up with is like at least your second cousin, because like it's obviously going to be a cousin, but like they want to make sure that it's like a second cousin.
It's all good. First cousin's all good too if you wear a rubber. I mean, it's like, yeah, you can feel fucked up about it or whatever, but I felt fucked up about a lot of shit in my life.
Yeah,
and it's like,
but it feels good at the time.
It's technically legal if you don't have the kid, right? Like if your nut is all like toxic or whatever, and like
you are literally doing debate. See, you're a debate guy. This is a debate guy. This is a literal debate conversation. It's like, is it ethical? Is incest ethical as long as you don't have a child? Like. That is unironically
my debate topic is if your nut is funky, like you should be able to have incest because you can't have a kid.
Yeah. If you get like a vasectomy.
I'm not saying like immediate. I'm saying if it's your cousin and you live on the farm.
Okay, but that's what the farm where Youngmi Park was.
If you live on the kibbutz, you should be able to hook up with a cousin or two. If you are. Bro, you're telling me you're Yeomni Park's cousin, and you have a couple of glasses of champers, and you're sitting at fucking.
You don't even need the champers for that, I think.
Silver Lake Reservoir, and you're shirtless. It's 3 p.m. on a Sunday. She's wearing fucking, of course, full dress. Yeah. And you're telling me that you can't hook up with your cousin?
Yeah, no, I think it's actually, it should be illegal not to.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's the most ethical way to do it because, like, you know, the world is ending anyway. Climate change, like, I'm against that sort of thing, regardless. Like, having a child in general, I think it's unethical.
I got tons of kids, bro. I got tons
from cousins.
I got cousin kids. I got regular kids. I got, Screaming Jay Hawkins, the old musician. There was a website called jayskids.com. I think it's still around. Where he had sex with so many women on tour and had kids with them that there was like dozens of people around America who were technically his child that like would have. He was
like Genghis Khan.
Yeah, and Dee Dee Ramone from the Ramones, same thing. South America, there's like 20 Dee Dee Ramones there. They're these mini Genghis Khans.
Okay, I have to pee really bad, Brace.
Okay, I gotta get dinner.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. Might I remind you guys again, stormthecapitalgame.com, available now.
Hell yeah.
Thank you,
they're
Hasan.
blasting it in the chat. Thank you, Brace, for enlightening us with this wonderful conversation.
See ya.
All right. Bye. Okay, I'm going to reactivate the camera. Boom. All right, we're back. And hold on. What should I play for you guys while I do that? I have to pee so freaking bad. Here.